Anyways, back to the topic. I couldn't really, I ain't really finish it, but last night I was watching a interview on my man Anton Daniels, who I fuck with. I was watching an interview on his channel, and everybody know I fuck with Charleston White. But he kind of said something, well, not kind of said something, he straight up said something that, for one, I don't agree with, and two, is wrong. He said black on black crime is some northern shit. That's a lie. The fact of the matter is, I can speak for most of our grandfathers. Most of our grandfathers were great, because I knew my greats. My mother had me young. Most of them were ran out of the South because they did or said something to a white person in their own defense. And they had to change their name and get the fuck out of there. And you know who told them to do that? The scared ass Southerners that they was related to, that was subservient to whoever it was they stood up to. And then they ended up here. And they wasn't necessarily supposed to stop here and in Chicago and in St. Louis and some of these port cities that's in the Midwest. They weren't supposed to stop here. They're supposed to proceed to Canada. But after they left Ohio in their different ways, some of our grandfathers stayed and some went to Canada. And I'm not against Southern black people, but understand what you're talking about when you speak on the Midwest specifically. This ain't New York. This ain't Cali. Same. And black on black crime started on the plantation when a nigga told on another nigga. It's technically, it's no other place it could have started but there. It started when the house nigga was whooping the field nigga for massa on your people's land that you still live on. It started there. Now we can get into the particulars, and I know nobody else can kick statistics and numbers with you. And obviously people have a problem kicking history with you, but nigga, I don't. And I'm more so supportive of your movement. But don't shoot that shit over here. Not that shit. Not that shit right there. That shit right there. It's illogical. It's irrational. It's ignorant. And it's also a lie. Your people were allowed to stay in Texas because they didn't do nothing. And then when it came acceptable for niggas to do something, then they started. Now, I've been in the backwoods of all of them southern towns. And I know in every single southern town where you can get lost and killed by whites, it's also a black family that ain't taking no shit. I know this. I know this. But that black family ain't taking no shit. Stay where they at, where they from. They don't really leave that motherfucker, and they run in that area on their acreage. That's anybody with land. That's anybody's job with land. So ain't nothing special about protecting your land. It's what you're supposed to do. That's in your nature, as you put it in that interview. But it's something very wrong about people who ain't been out of their nature speaking on another nature that they don't know nothing about. When them rights and laws and whatever it is, when they got passed, that shit, you know. And let's be clear, this nigga still getting hung down there. That shit ain't popping up here. And just so you know, Chicago is one of the most racially segregated cities in America. In actuality, it's one of the most racist places. But we don't allow racism to get in front of professionalism up here. And that's where you lost in the sauce at. Michigan is one of the most segregated places, period. The whitest city in America is right next to one of the only real black cities. Because Atlanta is not a real black city. They don't even have their own water supply. So, no disrespect. No disrespect. But the idea of all of us black people need to transform and transfer our wealth to a place without a water supply is ignorant. It's not war ready. Can't defend your position, especially when you surrounded by the enemy. Hello. But hey, I digress. This ain't a North-South beef. I just want to kick the Willy Bobos and the real history facts to you. You know what I'm saying? All of our grandfathers up here was for sure killers. And not of other black people. Straight up. Straight up. I mean, it's not a funny fact, but it's a fact. And then you want to talk about racism, right? My grandfather, my uncle, all of these black men, the first black men to own houses up here, all of their original deeds say do not sell to Negroes. Some say don't sell to niggas. And all of my great-greats got nigga on their birth certificate. Or had, they did, now they dead gone. But come on now, pop that shit with these other motherfuckers, man. Don't run that over here though, bro. I'm still riding with you. But you was wrong on that one. And Lil Homie ain't had a history to stand up to you on it. And when you speak about black people standing up to white people, Google the Jones family of Chicago. Them niggas went hard against the mob for years and years and years and years and years. And the only reason the mob was able to get them out is because one black dude was nice to Sam Giancana and let him in. Dumb shit. Same thing here. Niggas always had their proper piece of entire commerce. Now, I ain't talking about New York. I ain't talking about California. I'm talking about solely the Midwest. Us, because when you say North, you talking about us. So your geology is off a little bit too, because this is the Midwest. The North is Maine and New York. That's them over there, that northeast side. We only go so far up because we touched by Canada. But technically, I get it. Looking at the map, we would count as North too. But you specifically said Chicago and the Midwest, you know what I'm saying? So I'm specifically responding. We out this bitch. Keep dropping game, but watch who you think is lame. We out.